Manganaro, and you're watching LadiesBehindTheBeat.tv. When I was little, we had 8-track, and my dad would let me listen to Neil Diamond and Buddy Rich, and I loved the drums. So my parents took me to lessons at the mall, and then when I got older, I moved out to Hollywood and went to Musicians Institute and studied drum set. And then after I graduated from Musicians Institute, I joined as many bands as I could, and I played in all styles of bands, Latin bands, rock, funk, jazz, and I got my experience here in LA. I was in my young 20s, and I've never quit. Drums are very, very organic, so it's nonverbal. There's nothing really to explain other than the wonderful feeling I get when I'm connected to a rhythm and I can connect with other musicians and we can create music. You know, being a girl, there's always maybe a little bit of a stigma that girls can't play, but that's not true. So I think right off the bat, people are interested and intrigued, but they still want me to play to show them I can do it. Challenge is an interesting word. I'm already very competitive, so anything that's challenging encourages me to overcome that obstacle with hard work and practice. So I wouldn't really say it's been negative in terms of challenging as a negative. It's been nothing but positive. So, you know, I know what I can do, I know what I bring, and it's always been just wonderful to play with other people that appreciate me and I appreciate them. So. My mentor is Ricky Lawson. I love him so much. I've known him for 20 years. And when I was a young girl, I moved out here and we became friends. And through the years, he has invited me to auditions and recording sessions and rehearsals. And then somehow he heard that Madonna was looking for a drummer. And he called her and told her to let me play. And she said, okay, Ricky, if you say so, I will let her be one of 5 drummers that will have the opportunity to audition for the tour. So that was all because of Ricky Lawson. I've toured with Angela BOFILL, R&B jazz artist Angela BOFILL, for 3.5 years. And actually, she had a girl on bass named Joy Jolks, and Julie Homey was on piano. So we had a female rhythm section. Angela is real cool. I've toured with Alvaro Torres. He's a Mexican artist from Mexico, very big arenas down there in Mexico we would tour. And I've toured with contemporary pop artist Go West, a band from England. And we did a Pretty Woman soundtrack tour for the movie Pretty Woman, and we went around the nation and toured to promote that movie. So let's see, I've done it all. Hardly Dangerous was a hard rock original project. I've played with the Coco Club, these East LA Latin girls. I've done a country and western band with some girls doing country music. And then I had another band called Under Wraps, and just so many girl bands that I've been part of. And Miss actually had a wonderful life so far playing with all these girls. I would listen to music when I was little, and my ear would naturally go to the beat. So I'm not sure what it was going on with me, but it was an internal interest in the passion of the rhythm. I got a call from the president of CBS Entertainment, and she, Nina Tassler, booked me on a pilot with Wayne Brady, the comedian, and I was his sidekick in a pilot for CBS. It's a game show, and it's coming out in the fall, and it's called Let's Make a Deal. So what I did on the pilot was I provided all the Foley sound for the banter between the contestants, between Wayne and the contestants, and I would provide like the little fills, going to commercial, the top of the show, the funk beat, real strong hip-hop groove. And then so that was fun to be on TV playing the drums. I've been teaching drums for 20 years. I've had hundreds of drum students. Just lately, more of my drum students are girls. So I think there's been a shift in our cultural narrative, so to speak, that girls are more, getting into the drums. Kids and Sticks is an annual drum recital that I do in April at St. Cyril of Jerusalem Catholic Elementary School, and I bring in 8 of my drum students, and we perform with my band. I have a band called I Love Pammy, and we have the kids play the drums, and then the guys are playing the rest of the instruments, and they each play 2 songs each and show up for their parents and the big audience on a big stage with lights, so kids get a feeling of what it feels like to be a professional drummer with a real professional band on stage. Always go for your dream. If you love the drums, stick with the drums. I think it's also important to, get your education, go ahead and get that BA, go get that degree, but also keep playing. Listen to music. Don't ever quit. Keep the sticks in your hand and play every day if you can, with yourself, with someone to jam with.
And since we got a chance to see you playing with Vicki Johnson, let's talk about the synergy that happens when you play with other female musicians.
Vicki and I had just met. We talked very briefly on the phone, and we got here, and she sat down with her bass amp and her bass guitar and sat in here next to me real close, and we barely said anything to each other, but we had this nonverbal communication, and we created a whole conversation musically with one another. And then when it was over, we felt like sisters who bonded through music, and like that. It's just beautiful. Music is so universal and so healing and such a powerful force. I've sort of orchestrated my life to stay home and teach full time right now while Matthew's young, and it's only now that he's 6 and going into 1st grade that I'm feeling I can go out of town. One time I had a gig at the Sagebrush Cantina a month ago, and he came up on stage and he grabbed one of the sticks out of my hand, and everyone in the audience was like, oh, that's the child to the drummer, and I just let him stay there and play, and we finished the song. Just like my little 6-year-old Matthew has no idea that I came from a narrative that didn't really include girls on drums. So now it's different, and I think it's all limitless for girls on any instrument, especially even in the drums and bass, like you saw today. Once when I was in my young 20s, and there were not many female drummers, someone told me that I'm the grandmother of the drums. And I thought, well, that's actually kind of a compliment, because when I'm 60 and 70 years old, I'll see 20 and 30 somethings playing the drums, and maybe they'll remember me.